and also I'm really lazy. So today I was watching, I think it was Outside Extra on the YouTubes, and they had like an adventure book, you know, choose your own adventure book. Oh, you made it yourself? Awesome. Okay. Well, I'm impressed. I think I just used turmeric, cumin, and ground coriander. Pretty tasty. I also bought coriander from the shop and managed to not kill it, so I'm feeling pretty smug. But I haven't actually used it in anything yet, so not that smug. And also, maybe it will die before I use it anyway, so what's the point in keeping it alive? So I have this extra camera down here, which you may have thought was just a blank screen, but it is a camera. I don't know if I need this thingy on my lap, so I could just put it over here. Hello, Johnny. Hello, Danny. I also said hi to Danny out of my own volition, so there you go. Hello to you both. We're talking about Dull and how rarely I stream. Oh, we were watching your stream the other day, Johnny. Me and GIF. Whilst, I don't know, waiting for takeaway to arrive. Very good. So, today, I don't know how well this is going to work. Yeah, not great. It's not great, is it? I was watching the like choose your own adventure things on YouTube, and it reminded me that I think I borrowed it from the library, but there was a Sonic the Hedgehog version of one of those, and it was obviously weird. So I started looking for them on eBay, and I couldn't find them for ages. So I found these, which are like weird weird game booky things where you have to solve little puzzles on each page. I'm pretty sure I couldn't solve some of them the other day when I was just looking through it. The Hilltop Zone. Earthquakes have made 8 changes in this zone and Sonic needs to spot all of them. Can you find the differences between this picture and the opposite? If you find all 8, take Sonic to page 16. If not, go to page 14. I think each page says if you can't manage to do it, go to a certain page. Like, well, what if Sonic's just really shit? Just, maybe he dies in the end? I don't know. Maybe there's a page where it's like, sorry, you didn't manage to complete any of the puzzles because you're rubbish. So, now he's dead and it's your fault. Yeah, I can't immediately spot any differences. Here's one picture. Here's the other picture. Now, from memory, solve it. Danny is intrigued by a Sonic Choose Your Own Adventure. Well, then I have the perfect stream for you, because I did eventually manage to find this gem. Sonic, maybe I should hold this still and bring the thing to it. Sonic versus Zonik. That's right, Zonik. There he is, in all his glory. You may remember him from such zones as Death Egg, I guess. Although it looks like they're like having a little moment here where Zonik is like, oh, I've never felt like this before. A little finger lightning here. Yeah, this is way better if I leave the camera in one place. Where can I leave it? I'm going to put it in the cup holder here. Technical difficulties, 1 second. Right, that's still quite shit. Please excuse me while I set up my stream. Yeah, that's not set up. Well, let's just leave it here, maybe? This is my microphone here. I don't know. We'll work it out as it carries on. I had a few of the Sonic ones and some Lemmings ones. Lemmings, choose your own adventure. What was it like? To continue walking in a straight line, go to page 36. To bump into a wall and randomly change direction, go to page 372. You died. You are a lemming and you died. To explode, go to page 11. Yeah, I don't know if he was named Zonik actually in that. But, well, now we know. The lore shows us that that's what his name is. Yeah, this is the first place to have this camera. Okay, we'll find something. We'll find something that works. You can look at the wall till I'm ready to show you things, camera. There you go, it's the window. Lovely blinds, getting to see all of the bits of the room that you don't normally get to see. Very exciting. Hi Ed, me old horse. How's it going? That's a terrible Irish accent, sorry. Yes, we're having a look today at the Sonic game books that I've acquired. The old Solly. There you go. This also is not a great angle. Struggling to know what's going to be a good angle though. So, well, you'll just have to guess what it all looks like. Makes it more exciting, right? Oh no, now you can see my computer. Might not be good. Fuck it. Whatever. We'll work it out as we go along. So we've got Adventure Game Book 1. That's actually more clear than the exciting extra camera. GDPR breach, I know. Now all of your details are out on the internet. Sonic the Hedgehog Adventure Game Book 2, where we have exciting puzzles like only one of the menacing machines is complete, and Sonic has a picture of it. Help him find the clucker that matches exactly. So that's exciting for a child. Get a nice close-up of my biceps as well there. I've almost got them. Almost got one. I like that little alien guy. So that was one of the things I got. Then also I got Sonic Mad Libs, which I kind of forgot what Mad Libs even are. And I was trying to think of a way of getting people to be involved in that as well. But I didn't come up with anything particularly good. But I thought if you could have like a Google form or something, then I could just tell people, give me a noun, an exclamation, an adjective, a place, blah 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 blah, and then people could fill that in, and then each person would get their own version of the story. For example, in all of a place, there are only X number of Chaos Emeralds. These mystical something are the most powerful and something items in the known universe. That is why heroes and their somethings will something battle to the ends of the something to possess them. Each emerald has something powers, but when person uses all 7 together, he has sexist. They have the ability to transform into their super form called something Sonic. In this form, his usually blue something becomes a brilliant something that makes him look like a glowing something. In the upgraded form, his already amazing somethings become more something, and he can jump some number of times higher. Sonic's gerund ability is also multiplied, making him able to deflect all kinds of deadly somethings. There we go. Top-down camera would be better. Yes. Okay, this is going to be revolutionary. You ready? There. That's what we needed. I need it to be like 4-pronged. I'm gonna stay there. Oh, that's weird. Too steep. There we go. That's what we needed. That's going to be very uncomfortable for me, but I'm willing to put up with this for you guys. Easy, tiger. I don't... Yes. There's usually blue something. I think that'd be quite exciting, but I haven't quite worked it out yet because I think you might need to have like a Google account in order to fill out a Google form. I just want a way of doing it either with your Twitch username so that I can tell who did each one. But yeah, once I've figured it out, it's gonna be fantastic. I might not be able to read them out without giggling. And then when I giggle, I get embarrassed, and then when I'm embarrassed, I giggle, so it's like a whole round robin of embarrassment. Yeah, well, I can get a stand at some point. But until then, pretty sure nobody would even notice that this was an unusual setup. Choose your own adventure. Well, Ed, I'm glad you said choose your own adventure, because here is our main feast for the day, which is Sonic the Hedgehog Adventure Game Book 3. I got one of these from the library when I was young, and I died as Sonic so many times, which in fairness kind of replicated my experience of playing the video game, which is why I was always Tails. That and my brother's quite annoying if he doesn't get his own way. Hi Jamie. I then tried to reverse engineer it by finding a page that had an ending or a good ending. It might not have even been a good ending, I can't remember. And then trying to find the page that could lead me to that, and then find that page as an option. But it was taking forever, and I was a child and I got distracted and bored. Holding all the pages and options. Yeah. And this one, I don't remember this in the book I had, but it has like stats, like in, I think in like Dungeons and Dragons, you can add things like points for each of these different things, and then there's lives left, rings collected, Sonic's stuff. You can note down all the things that Sonic picks up along the way. The text will prompt you when you need to do this. And of course, don't forget to note down all the rings as well. I wonder if you can survive then if you've got lots of rings. It's a beautiful artist's depiction of Dizzy Sonic. I don't quite know why he's in like porn star squat pose. It's like maybe it's just my mind that goes there, but anyway, he looks a bit... He doesn't look like he's just fallen down. He looks like he's crouched there deliberately. So we're going to go through that in a second. There'll be quite a lot of reading before we do it, so I hope you don't hate my voice, because you're going to be hearing a lot of it. Well, I suppose if you hate my voice, then don't come watch me stream. There is that too. Oh yeah, I was going to change the music because I've got a lot of Sonic music, so it seems silly not to have Sonic music playing, especially as this is nonsense. Sonic style music. Let's just play all. Alright, this is why haven't I done this before? It's great. Hello, Joe Genoa. Oh. Are you a Sonic fan? This is my friend Joe. Joe in Genoa. Yeah, how are you doing, Joe? This looked better before, somehow. Wait, why don't I just have it here? I hope you don't get dizzy easily, because... This is impossible. How does anybody stream? Ba, ba, ba. No, it was better on my shoulder somehow, even though I'm really bad at it. I like Sonic 1 and 2, not so much the new ones. I think I feel the same way. I had a big lion, it's a miracle. I am envious. I not to be smug or anything, but I went for a run at 9 in the morning. What is not smug is how shit I am at running. So I've gone back to like the beginning of Couch to 5k, but actually running and not just like waddling like I did when I first did it. So now a person looking at me would be like, that person is jogging. Whereas for me, I feel like I'm sprinting. I didn't quite manage to do this week very well, but you do what you can do. Okay, are you ready? Better at running than me? I don't think that's true. Today was run for 90 seconds, walk for 90 seconds, run for 3 minutes, walk for 3 minutes, and then repeat. And I think just in my head, I end up being like, I hate this, I hate this, I hate this, I don't want to do this anymore. So I think I could have done that last 3-minute run, I just didn't really want to. So some might say, don't run. Most people would be very sensible. Somebody can tell me that, that would be great. Then I can listen to you. Alright, here we go. I want you all to think very carefully and decide whether you want to do this as a set of polls, so like 1-minute polls when we get to the choices to decide which page to go to, or whether that's gonna hold us back from the wonderful story that is Sonic v Zonik, a magical little finger touch, where Zonik realizes some of his more surprising feelings are awakening. Alright, here we go. This is a game book. You don't read through it like you would a normal book, starting at the first page and ending at the last. In Sonic v Zonik, it says V on the front page, and versus here. Inconsistent. But it does say V dot. Anyway, we'll breeze past this. You decide how Sonic and Tails will defeat the evil Zonik. Doesn't look evil. So why is Tails in a hole? All these questions I'm sure will be answered. How will they fight the Badniks and overcome all the other tricks, traps and puzzles they will find along the way? That choice is up to you. If you make the right choices for them, they'll win. Make the wrong ones, well, you'll soon find out. Your lovable, lovable childhood characters will die in your hands. Before you start to read the book, have a look at the rules on the next few pages. They're not very complicated, so don't worry. They are almost the same as the ones in the other Sonic gamebooks. You'll need one ordinary 6-sided die and a pencil. In Sonic vs. Zonik, you will help Sonic and Tails to make vital decisions in their battle against Zonik. The decisions, that's not at all going to get confusing. The decisions you make for them will decide whether they win or lose. The book is divided into 300 sections, each one with a number. The first one is 1, and the last one is 300. But you don't read through them in order. Instead, each section ends with a number of choices. Right, okay. So it's like pages, not sections. Sounded a bit terrifying. Instead, each section ends with a number of choices. By the side of each of these choices, there is a number printed in bold type. Bold is also in bold, just so you know what that is. Oh, have fun at a 6-year-old's party. That sounds interesting. Yeah, thanks, Animal. It is progression, and I do feel reasonably happy at the end of it. I do feel more positive than I did to start with. So that's good. I still hate running, so that's not so great. Except on a treadmill, that's fine. Once you've decided what Sonic and Tails should do, find the section with that number and continue reading. Oh. Holding books is difficult. Hopefully you can see enough of it there. Carry on doing this until you have either finished the adventure or failed along the way. If you fail, you have to stop. It doesn't say that. Before you start, you have to decide how good Sonic is at doing things. If you have a look at page 12, you will see a chart called Sonic's Vital Statistics, not to be confused with the character in asterisks. As well as listing Sonic's abilities, it has a place to record what Sonic is carrying, brackets, Sonic's stuff, and also places to record how many lives he has left and how many rings he has collected. Tails doesn't have his own abilities. In this book, they're the same as Sonic's. Hey, Quack! Quack Splat, how you doing? You like my shelving? This is the library. Most of what you can see there is games, but I promise there are also books in here. In fact, I can show you. With this handy dandy, oops, thingy bob. There's some books, see? And over there, more books. An accordion. I was trying to learn, but I still suck at. Oh, I shouldn't ever take this off my shoulder because then I can go back on. Are you on? I'm kind of on. Right. Yeah, okay, there we go. How you doing, Cluck? The Beano 1998 annual. Yeah, I think... Oh, fuck. There's some Beano and Dandy annuals back there. It's done very well. It's compartmentalized, but I can make my way around from my appearances here. Yeah, it has some alphabetization, and there is some amount of order to it. Jolly good library, if you ask me. Right. Sonic, brackets, and Tails, who could forget Tails, have 6 abilities: speed, strength, agility, coolness, quick wits, and good looks. Beside each on the chart is a description of what each ability means. Read these and then decide what ability you want Sonic to be best at. Now write a 5 in the box by this ability. Then look for the one you want him to be next best at, and write a 4 by its side. It continues in a similar way, but all of the ones under 3 get a 2 next to them. They show what Sonic's strengths and weaknesses are. Doing things. Some sections of this book will ask you to roll a die against one of Sonic's abilities. To do this, you must roll the die. Look at the result and then add it to the number you've given to Sonic's ability. For example, if you needed to roll against Sonic's strength, you should roll the die, then look at Sonic's strength score. If you rolled a 3 and Sonic had a strength of 4, please excuse me while I get the doorbell. Doesn't say that in the book. Oh, now we have to go through all the rigmarole of putting the camera up again. BRB. Candy annuals. Haven't got any of those yet. Please excuse the sound of things falling down. That is just a sound that accompanies me wherever I go, because I'm quite clumsy. Right, where were we? Please look away if you feel dizzy. Here it comes. Right, where were we? There. There. Good. Right. God, this is a long section. Please bear with me. And the score will be 7. 3 plus 4. It's good that they've explained their working there. Oh, there. Great. The section you are reading will tell you the number you have to beat to succeed. Zonik also uses his abilities to fight his enemies. Apparently I still can't read that. You have a bear with you? Yes, he's behind. Well, that's what I'm sitting on actually. This is my leather bear. Bear chair. If Chalk was here, he'd throw you out. Although maybe not anymore. Apparently he likes puns now. There we go. Right, all of the enemies have a fighting score. This is a number between 5 and 10. The lower the number, the worse they are at fighting. To fight them, roll the die and add it to the ability score that Zonik is using. If Zonik rolls higher than or equal to an enemy's fighting score, then he has hit it. Some enemies need more than one hit to destroy them. If an enemy is not destroyed, then it can try to hit Zonik. Roll one die and add it to its fighting score. If the result is more than 10, then it has hit Zonik. Ouch! If Tails is helping Zonik, then Zonik can add 3 to his die roll. In some cases this may be less, but it depends on what is happening. Very clear. If Zonik is hit by an enemy, he will either lose all his rings, or, if he doesn't have any rings, he will lose one of his lives. Zonik starts the book with 3 lives. If he loses them all, he has failed and must start the adventure again from the beginning. Tails has no lives of his own, of course. Everything is so anti-Tails, it's disgusting. If Zonik has lost all his, then he must go back to the beginning as well. Always riding Sonic's coattails. Sonic can buy an extra life with 100 rings if he wants to, but he must have collected 100 rings first. You can't do any sort of loan situation. Pull this back over here. Beware, some parts of the adventure need rings to gain access to parts of the zones. We're quite close to the end of this explanation section. Look, there's almost a whole blank page. Zonik starts with a few items. These are already written down in Sonic's stuff. They include an energy gun. What? This nifty piece of hardware shoots out a beam of pure cool. Anything evil or eggy caught by it will be frozen for a while. Unfortunately, every time Zonik fires it, it costs 10 rings, so use it wisely. The book will tell you if and when he can use his stuff. Throughout the adventure, he will be able to pick up other things. Write these down in Sonic's stuff so that you will remember what he has collected. This is starting to sound a bit complex. Also, cross off the ones he and Tails don't have anymore. Somewhere in this adventure, Sonic will find the Zone chip. This may be used at any time in the game by turning to section 237. You will not see this number printed in the book very often, so make a note of it for when you find the chip. Otherwise, Sonic won't be able to use it. Okay, Sonic and Tails will find rings and be given credits and points in the adventure, and you will need to write these down as well. Remember to use a pencil, though, as these will need to be altered quite a lot as you read this book. Luckily, it does not have, like, Sharpie scrawled all over it, so I guess they remember to use a pencil. Well, that's it for the rules. Now turn to section 1 and start your adventure with Sonic and Tails as they battle against Zonik and the Badniks. So I guess we probably should do some of this. I'm going to use a different book though. Like a separate sheet of paper or something. Let's see what I've got here. We have a schematic diagram for a database. Ooh, no, I've got a blank work thing in the middle here. I'm probably about to hear a clatter as I drop things, so don't be alarmed. Also, I don't know if I have a pen, so this might be entirely useless. Right. Good. Now let's see if I have a pen. I have a Sharpie or a metallic colour pen. A more sensible person might go and get a pen, but I'm going to use a Sharpie. And that also will stick it to this book for telling me what to do. Fuck you, book. I'm not using a pencil. Pencils are for children. Right. Speed. It's totally going to write on this book by accident. Speed. Strength. Agility. Coolness, obviously. Quick wits. Good looks. Okay. Lives. Rings. Okay. Stuff. So he has 3 lives to start with. Let's do this. Okay, speed, strength, agility, coolness, quick wits, good looks, lives, rings, and stuff. I think we start with no rings. So now it's just a case of what do I think is most important. My tummy is rambling. So I think I also don't have a die, which is problematic. I'll just get one of you to say a number, and that'll do. Speed, strength, agility. Maybe there's a... It's probably a command or something. Anyway. Speed or strength? Basically, I think speed, strength, quick wits. Maybe agility? I have a stupid feeling that coolness is going to play an unnecessarily significant part in all these adventure things. But still, if I lose my life to a bad neck, that's going to be embarrassing. So I'm going to go... I'm going to go 5 for strength. Uh, 4 for quick wits. 3 for agility. 2 for speed. 2 for coolness. 2 for good looks. Just going to see if that tallied up with real me, but probably not. Okay. Oh. That's worse. How was this before that made it okay? Oh my god. Okay, definitely need a stand if I do this again. Right. Alright. Without more ado, let's begin. Ooh, okay. Here we go. Something very strange had happened in the Green Hill Zone. Oops. 1 minute, Sonic had been sitting playing with his Mega Drive. The next thing, he was being attacked by a group of maniac bunnies. They were usually his friends. He had tried to speak to them, but all they kept shouting at him was something about him filling all their burrows with rotten eggs. Sonic didn't even like eggs, and the bunnies were his mates, so he'd never dream of doing that to them. This is written by, like, I don't know, written like an English, like, they were his mates, innit? So, why would he do that? Suddenly, everything had gone black. Sonic could see stars. Not the kind of stars in the night sky, but the kind that whiz around inside of your head. It was as if the whole of the universe was circling around him. Sonic, of course, being the centre of the universe. Here he is. Hey, slow down. It was daytime a minute ago. Suddenly, his senses returned and he jumped to his feet. The bunnies were gone. He was alone, confused, and not sure what was going on. Wow, this is weird, says Sonic. Sonic might be covered in spines, but they don't protect his head. Gingerly, he raises a paw to the rapidly growing bruise. Oh no! Should I do a voice? Probably don't really get a choice, I'm going to do it anyway. Oh no, it's the size of an egg! Hey now, don't say egg. Bad vibes about that word. This is... no, okay. Well, I suppose I'd better find out whether the bunnies were right. I swear, anytime I try and do an American accent, well, I'm not... like, when I'm by myself, I'm great at accents, probably. Anyway. Sonic set out through the green hills, still not really believing what had happened in the past 10 minutes. Everything looked normal, the hills were green, the sky was blue. Yes, this had to be the Green Hill Zone, but there was something odd, nagging him. Zwing! A small silver object flew towards Sonic's head, embedding itself in a tree behind him. Sonic turned around to take a look at the tree. There, half buried in the bark, was the familiar shape of a buzzer. Zzz, buzz. Get you next time. Buzz, threatened the buzzer, rather pathetically, as he was firmly stuck in the tree. Sonic smiled. All was well in the Green Hill Zone. They always tried to get me, he thought, but never manage it. The thought formed a smile. Sonic started walking away from the cursing buzzer, wondering whether to head for the hills or one of the bridges, so he's not even going to rescue this thing from the tree. Imagine you were Sonic. What would you do? Thank you, 10 out of 10 accent. That's what I was really thinking. I'm glad somebody else said it. Wondering whether to head for the hills or one of the bridges. Imagine you were Sonic. What would you do? Go to the hills? Turn to 106? If you think Sonic should head towards the river, then turn to 177. What do you think? Do you guys want to do a poll? I also forgot what the thing was. Was it 247? Oh, my stomach's rumbling. Otherwise, I'm tempted to go to the hills because it is. Should Sonic go to the hills or head towards the river. A little bit of a preview of one of the later sections. Commissionaire. And a casino. Interesting. Hills, because Green Hill Zone. That's what I was thinking, but then I thought I don't really like going up hills. Okay, but it's Zonik, so it's not me. That's fine. Go to section 106. Section 106. Yes. Come on. Here. Right. The hills looked just like Zonik expected them to look. All green and, well, hilly. Zonik stopped. Up ahead was one of the star posts. Usually he could see it from far away, its light shining out like a beacon. Today, Zonik couldn't see it at all. "That's strange," he said. Zonik had been to the post so many times that even if he couldn't see it, he could still find it. This fact didn't make the discovery he was about to make any easier. After a few more steps, Zonik discovered why he hadn't been able to see the post, for, in a little hollow in the hillside, there was a black and twisted lump of metal about 2 meters long. That was all that remained of the post. Who could have done such a thing? Zonik stared down at the post. Should he try to repair it? Or should he move on and find out what is going on? What do you think? Repair or abandon? If we repair it, we might get rings, because it will be like a bonus zone, maybe? But if we move on, then we might find out what's going on more quickly. Ooh, another little preview, another section. Zonik gets some glue from rats, so that's exciting. We can look forward to that. There's a little picture of Zonik as well here. I think, I don't know, Zonik looks actually quite friendly and like, I don't know, like he's just misunderstood, and all it took was for Zonik to show him some love. I think I'm going to repair it. So go to 63. Alright. Oh. The poor post has been well and truly mashed. Even with Zonik's super strength, he cannot raise it. After half an hour of trying, he decides to leave it where it is. The view from the hilltop is superb, and in the distance... More things at the door. Let me jump. Where did we get to? In the distance, Zonik can see a little river with a bridge, and beyond that, a small wood. That looks like a good way to go, says Zonik out loud for some reason. Turn to 177. Ooh, there's a few illustrations. In the distance, yeah. Let's say it was deliberate. I'm gonna pay the post people later. Right, here we go. Oh. Come on. I never said dexterity was a thing that would be required for this book. Okay. Here's Tails. Looking... What is that face? Like he's trying to be authoritative and tell someone off for having shat on the floor, whilst also knowing it was definitely him who'd shat on the floor himself. It's like got hands on hips And the sort of frowny face, but also the eyebrows are like, I really hope they don't figure out it was actually me. That is the face of a floor shitter. Although now I'm falling into the same trap as everybody else does, which is being really mean to Tails when he doesn't deserve it at all. Anyway. Right. The familiar sound of the river could be clearly heard in the distance. Sonic didn't really like the river. He didn't really like any rivers. They were alright to look at, but he didn't fancy getting wet one little bit. Sonic walked into the valley and breathed a sigh of relief. At least there was a proper bridge here today. The Green Hill Zone bridges had a nasty habit of doing their own thing. Sometimes they were normal, other times bits of them collapsed as you walked on them. Sometimes they even disappeared when you were halfway across. Gingerly, Sonic tiptoes across the bridge, casting a cautious eye at the water. Somewhat relieved, he reaches the other side. You could never be too careful with bridges. That was a reasonably uneventful section. Turn to 12. This book isn't as choicey as I was kind of expecting it to be. I thought every section would end with a choice. Oh, okay. Here. Another beautiful illustration. Monkey. With some coconuts. And a long tongue. Hope you enjoyed that. Right. Once across the river, Sonic was in one of the many small woods that dotted the zone. All looked as it should be. The trees were still large things with brown trunks, and lots of big green bits at the top. There were plenty of them, and they all had one end firmly stuck in the ground. That's a tree, all right. Completely normal, says Sonic, just as a large brown object lands at his feet with a thump. Sonic looks at the thing, unsure what it is or why it is there. A coconut? He says, just as the second one hits him squarely on the chest. Sonic sprawls onto the ground, but he is back on his feet in a second. Hip, hip, hip. Cop that, Spiky! Sonic looks up towards where the voice was coming from, and he sees the face of Coconuts running down at him from the top of a tree. Plenty more where that came from, Spiky! Yick! Coconut howls with laughter as he reaches for another coconut to hurl in Sonic's direction. Just as Sonic is wondering what to do, the numbers 1, 3, 2 pop into his mind. How strange. Will Sonic get out of the way of the annoying monkey? Turn to 38. Or will he try to speak to him? Turn to 246. Well, I think these numbers must mean something. So I think we should try to speak to him. But I will take direction. I also need some water. Should we talk to Coconuts? I think we should. Maybe Coconuts has some wisdom. Yes, please. Okay. Then off we go to 246. Two, four. Come on. Okay. 246. That's quite a short section. Right, here we go. I like your tankard. Thank you. It is from a local pub. I think it's a chain actually. It's the brew house and kitchen. Yes, it's good. It's a little heavy, especially if you're very weak. Right, here we go. Carefully keeping a very close eye open for flying coconuts, Sonic tries to talk to the irritating monkey. This is not going to go well. Tell me, Coconuts, what's it like to be smelly, ugly, and stupid? Not great at this customer relations stuff. Sonic frowns and waits, hoping that he has said the right thing to Coconuts. Sonic really has a way with words. Quite a charmer, in fact. Go and play with a neutron blaster, Fleabag! Coconuts jeers back. Perhaps, thinks Sonic, that wasn't quite the right thing to say. Coconuts grabs another missile and flings it at Sonic. No point in trying to reason with him, thinks Sonic. Turn to 144. Well, I thought the 132 thing might have been a clue that Sonic knew what the fuck he was doing, but apparently not. 144. Come on. It's really hard doing this with one hand. As so many things are. 144. Here we go. Here we are. Is that the right kind of angle? Yeah. After a little while, the trees thinned out and Sonic was back in the open. Up ahead, he could hear the sound of another river. Sure enough, around the next bend in the path there was a river. Not a very wide one. But Sonic's heart sank nevertheless, for the bridge across it was not all it could have been. The planks that made up the walkway were moving. Sonic stops and looks at them for a while, trying to work out the pattern. Soon, Sonic feels sure that he has worked it out and will be able to cross safely. With a look of determination, he takes a few steps backwards and then charges towards the bridge. In which order should Sonic step on the planks? Ooh. The third, then the second, then the first. The first, then the third, then the second. The second, then the third, then the first. What was it? 1, 3, 2, isn't it? So I'm going to go for the middle one, regardless of what you all say. And we're going to go to 186. So the 132 was not for the monkey, it was for these platforms. 186, well hopefully. Or it was just a random thing that popped into its head with no bearing on anything whatsoever. 186. 186. Here we go. With the skill and coolness that only Sonic could produce, he expertly hops across the bridge in exactly the right order, even managing a little spin at the end. More than a little happy with his performance, Sonic finds himself among a lot of hills. Just as he was deciding which way to go, he sees something that makes his spine stand on end. Turn to 200. 200. It's probably a good thing that there's not like 300 choices in this, because I'm not good at decisions. 200. I haven't even met Zonik yet. Oh. I did not see this correctly the first time. I saw a different version of events. Anyway. Here we go, it's 200. Yeah. I knew they were close, but... straight ahead, the hillside is cut by a small, deep-sided valley, its sides almost sheer. From time to time, Robotnik was in the habit of setting a moving platform maze here to trap the unwary. Mind you, the risk was worth it, since Robotnik usually baited the top of the trap with at least half a dozen rings. There were two things about the maze that made Sonic think that the bunnies might not have been mad after all. Firstly, the platforms weren't moving. Okay, he could cope with that. The second thing was the fact that Tails was lying on the highest platform, and he didn't look happy. Turn to 253. Maybe it's because everybody always underestimates him, and they don't give him lives of his own, and he has no agency as a character. 253. In the daze, Sonic walks over to the start of the maze. Tails was in a dreadful state. His fur was all muddy and it looked like... But no, it couldn't be true. Someone had tied poor Tails' two tails together. Sonic's blood boiled. Who could have done this to his friend? Tails! Tails! Sonic shouts, but Tails doesn't move. I must rescue him, Sonic says aloud. Sonic looks at the platforms and spots a small wooden lever set into the cliff. Should Sonic try to help Tails? Turn to 139, or will he have a look at the lever? Turn to 207. I think... Well, my previous times of just trying to help without any additional information have not gone well. So I think... but the lever might then make me fall into a trap. I don't know. Don't know. Luckily it's not my quick wits that we have to rely on here. Although Sonic has pretty good quick wits himself, theoretically. Let's look at the lever. Turn to 207. By the way, anyone can jump in and give their 2 penneth if you want, and I will do what you say. Otherwise I'm going to make my own decisions, because I'm a fucking grown-up. Right, the lever is set about 3 meters above the floor of the valley. An easy jump for someone of Sonic's ability, isn't it? Roll the die and add the result to Sonic's agility. If the score is more than 6, turn to 47. If the score is less than 6, then turn to 162. I do not have a die. But, tell you what, I'm sure Google has one. Roll die. Oops. Dice. Okay, here we go. Oh, it rolled already. Let me roll again. 5. Really? Okay. Well, either way, rolled a 5. Good. 5 plus... Wait, where were we? 207. The score is more than 6. Oh, yeah. Then turn to 47. Rigged. I know, right? Well, I got 5 twice in a row, so I feel like that's legit. Turn to 47. Wait. 47, yeah. Watch this still kill us. No trouble whatsoever. Sonic leaps through the air, and with one deft flick of the wrist, the lever has been pulled. Almost immediately, the platforms whir into action behind him. Turn to 233. Oh, I was just nearly there. Okay. 233. 2, 3. We're getting there, we're getting there. 2, 3, 3. Could it be? Is this going to be our first glimpse? Here we go. Now the platforms are moving again. The route up to Tails is an easy one. Well, at least it was easy to someone like Sonic. 3 hops, a jump, a 1 little spin, and a final hop, and Sonic gets to the top. He looks anxiously down at the motionless body of Tails. His friend looks awful. Tails. Oh wait. Tails! Sonic reaches out a paw to touch his friend. Tails, it's me! Sonic! He says. Gradually, Tails wakes up. He looks at Sonic, his eyes getting wider and wider. Drugs are really starting to hit. No! No! Stay away from me! Stay away! Tails screams. He tries to hover, but can't because his tails are tied together. Stuff of nightmares. His eyes look wild, and Sonic is sure that he is frightened. But Tails, it's me, Sonic! I'm your friend! Who did this to you? You did! You did! Howls Tails. his eyes filling with tears. With this, Tails tries once more to hover, and this time, the knot in his tails falls out and he is away. "Come back!" yells Sonic, but his friend is already gone. Turn to 98. 98. This is easier than I remember it being. Maybe. 98. Here we go. What a hunk. Sonic can't believe what is happening. Tails has been his friend ever since he can remember. Determined to catch up with Tails, Sonic leaps off the platform and tumbles expertly onto the floor of the valley with not a single spine out of place. Tails is already a long way off up the valley, and Sonic hares off after him. Sonic moves a lot faster than Tails, and he is catching him up easily when disaster strikes. Oh wait, he's catching him up easily when disaster strikes. I thought it said, in the beginning of the book, Tails has no lives of his own, and all of his stats are the same as Sonic's. But, no. Okay, roll the die and add the results to Sonic's Quick Wits. If the score is 7 or more, turn to 154. Okay, Quick Wits, we have 4 already. Let's roll the die. Okay, here we go. 4. So, we win. Quick Wits. 4. 4 plus 4 is... That's right, 8. Okay, turn to 154. 154. Right, 154. Yeah. Now that was pure cool with a capital C. Or was it just luck? Sonic's the only one who will ever know, and there's not much chance of him admitting it, is there? Whether it was skill or luck, the little blue super being manages not only to spot the almost hidden stream, he also manages to leap it in a single bound, finishing off with an amazing spin, just for good measure. Spin's really all he's got, isn't it? Hey, Dr. Navratil, how are you doing? I'm good, thank you. How is your little pup? Dr. Nav has a very cute dog. Yeah, hope you're doing well. We're just reading a bit of Sonic the Hedgehog adventure book. Sonic v Zonik, with my expert little camera up here. So I do not... Oh! Pup's very good. Been away for work the past couple of weeks, but now back and spoiling her. Oh, bless. She's a lucky little thing. I've put in an inquiry about a couple of young cats that are in cats protection at the moment. So hopefully they'll come back to us, and hopefully we'll get to give them a home. But yeah, they look very cute. Their names are... current names are Cliff and Jane, which I'm not too sure about. But something about having a cat called Cliff is quite funny. But yeah, look, this isn't where we are, but this is the kind of thing that can really end our lives and make our adventure very sad. Yeah, Jane. I hope you get them. Thank you. I hope so too. Yeah, they look really, really sweet. They were born outside, apparently. But yeah, I will tell you all about them if we get them. And if not, I'll cry. But it'll be fine. There are other kitty cats out there. Yeah, thanks. What?
Got to turn to page 138. Fast sharp run.
Sharp run. Hey Tracker, thank you very much for 19 months, holy shit. Thank you. That is a very good Sonic emote. Is he going backwards? He looks like he's kind of putting on the Ritz. It's pretty great. Hope you're doing well, Tracker. Welcome on in. If you have not seen already, we are running through this wonderful adventure game book of Sonic the Hedgehog. Sonic versus Zonik. Little spark of electricity between the two of them here. It's running so fast forward that it looks like it's backwards. Yeah, it's one of those optical illusions. That is what happens when I run as well, but it looks like I'm running on the spot. And falling over and crying. Was there a 3? Yeah, there's a 3. So sadly we've missed the first 2. I can't remember which one I got from the library, but I don't think it was this one. Well, I don't know. I have no idea. It could have been. Could have been anything. It was a long, long time ago. But so far, we have gone to the hills in Green Hill Zone, found that one of the star posts has been mullered by something. Sonic was unable to fix it because he's shit. We went over a river. Then what? Got nutted by a monkey. Then we've rescued Tails, who seemed to think that we had been responsible for tying him up. But, you know, it's not even a Thursday, why would we tie him up? Yeah, Animal had a few of them. So, let's see when this was made. So we're on 154. Also, I'm doing voices, so I apologise in advance for that. By Nigel Gross and John Sutherland. First published 1994. There you go. For Andrew White and Alan MacDougall. The Sonic and Tails of Woolwich. Not forgetting the rest of the A team. There you go. There's an English production. So what were we? 154. Fuck. 154. Right, there we go. Yeah, this is just an example of the kind of writing you can expect from the next little while. And that was Pure Cool with a capital C. Oh no, we've read that bit already. Oh yeah, it finishes off with an amazing spin, because he does everything by finishing off with an amazing spin, and it doesn't get tiresome at all. And everyone's like, wow, Sonic, that's amazing. I've never seen you do that before. Alright, here we go. Outstanding! Sonic can't resist the temptation to sing his own praises. Well, not bad, I suppose. He continues, a little less over the top. Turn to 3. That's unusually self-effacing of him. So, section 3. Here we go. Ooh, this is a longer one. Oh, no. Running, spinning and jumping across the Green Hill Zone, Sonic is quickly gaining on his friend Tails. Sonic cannot help but wonder why Tails is trying to get away from him. Perhaps this is a game? Maybe Tails is just trying to see if Sonic is awake enough to close the gap. At last, Sonic catches up with Tails and skids to a halt. Tails looks tired and afraid. Sonic goes towards him, but Tails backs off. Why are you running away from me? What? Why are you running away from me? Sonic splutters. Tails just looks at him. Sonic is getting desperate. What is going on here? Sonic demands. I'm so sorry. Tails continues looking at Sonic and leans a little closer to him. This makes Sonic feel a bit weird, like some kind of exhibit in a zoo. Now that Tails is this close, Sonic is shocked at the state of him. As well as the mud and dirt, poor old Tails' fur is singed and blackened in over a dozen places. Sonic is still confused. He opens his mouth to repeat the questions. Tails quickly reaches out with a paw and touches Sonic on the snout. Then, quick as a flash, he whips the paw away again. What are you up to, Tails? Exclaims Sonic. Tails just smiles. So it is you, he says, very relieved. The real you, after all. Now turn to 291. I can't remember what Tails' voice is. It's going to be young, naive schoolboy now. What was it? 191? Wait. 291. Oh, 291. Okay. 291. Okay. Now Kith. Kith him! Kith him! What are you waiting for? Right. I don't think this is the picture for what we're about to read, but check this big boy out. Beefy. Good. Well, okay. Needless to say, Tails had something of a story to tell Sonic. So you see, whatever it is, looked just like you, and every time it touched me, it burnt. Look! Tails pointed to the singe marks all over his fur. That's why I knew it was really you when I touched you. Sonic was baffled. Who on earth would want to go and impersonate him? Who can it be? He said aloud. He does talk to him a lot to himself out loud. Because he likes the sound of his own voice. And why wouldn't he? I don't know, replied Tails, but whoever it is, he needs to be stopped. I wouldn't be at all surprised if Robotnik wasn't behind all this. The idea did make sense. All the good creatures of Mobius looked to Sonic as the one thing that could stand up to Robotnik. Make Sonic look bad, and Robotnik's job got a lot easier. Right, let's go get him, Tails. Sonic was on his feet in an instant. But we don't know where to look, said Tails. Now that, annoying as it was a very good point. See, Tails always has very good points, and everyone's like, oh, Tails is so annoying, but actually, he's the only one with the right idea. Any ideas? Said Sonic. Tails paused and thought for a while. I last saw it, the bad Sonic, heading for the chemical zone, but that was about an hour ago, I think. Right, let's go that way then. Sonic was already coiling up for a sprint. But when I first saw him, he was hanging around outside that secret cave. What cave? Said Sonic, not really listening. You know, the one where we used to hide rings for safekeeping, over by the little river. What will they do? Will they go and look in the cave? Or should they hurry on towards the chemical zone? We have 0 rings at the moment, so I'm going to go to Secret Ring Cave, unless anybody has any objections. Good, let's go. Turn to 9. 9. Here we go. Oh. It really does look like Sonic's bending Tails over in this, like at first glance. So like, come on. Here we go. Alright. Lovely. Yes, well, they seem to enjoy it. Okay, says Sonic. The cave it is. Both the heroes charge off at a frightening speed, though at least Sonic manages to remember the small stream and easily avoids it this time. At this rate, the journey to the caves takes exactly 1 minute, and neither of them is even out of breath. Show-offs. Pizza! Welcome! How you doing? How you doing? Oh, that is quite the Tails emote. That is basically what that picture was depicting. Oh, I didn't even notice little Robotnik at the bottom of this page. Well, we'll get to Robotnik eventually. Pizza, we're going through Choose Your Own Adventure with Sonic the Hedgehog. I hope you're well. Just wake up. Ah, yes. I was up early today and decided to do a stream. It will only be a short one though. So what's been about an hour and a half. Probably go for another half an hour, a bit longer than that. It'll be longer than that, but I'm going to aim for another half an hour. I don't know if we'll actually manage to get through all of this. Probably not, right? Don't know. Anyway, just read a future line and it made me chuckle. Neither of them is even out of breath. The inside of the cave is dark and dank. Maybe even a bit eggy. That is not a good cave. I never remember it smelling this bad, says Tails. That's what she said. Me neither, says Sonic. After a few moments, their eyes get used to the darkness. Sonic can see a pile of rings in the corner. At least the rings are still safe, says Sonic as he starts to pick them up. Besides the pile of rings, Sonic sees a small computer chip. He picks it up and looks at it. There are brief instructions printed on the side of it. Ooh. Zone chip. Wait. Zone chip. To activate, insert 10 rings per person. Sonic may now use the zone chip at any time. To use it, cross off 10 rings from Sonic's stuff, or 20 rings if Tails is using it too. Then make a note of the section you are reading before turning to 237. Okay, so... Wait, we got rings. Oh yeah, okay. Sonic collects 10 rings and we've got the zone chip. Let's just make a note of this in Sharpie. It's good to see you too. It's been a little while. A hot few minutes. Oh, this arm really aches. I think it's from holding the camera. Arr. Right, stuff. Okay. First off, we got 10 rings. Very exciting. And stuff, we got zone warp chip. Is that what it's called? And it's page 237 to use it. ERB. No worries. Pop a little Sharpie back in there. Okay, let's try this. Okay, right, so Tails, however, has spotted something else. Over in the far corner is a small needle-shaped thing, and it's glowing blue. Sonic has managed to collect 10 rings. If you would like him to go and have a look at the blue needle, turn to 174. If you think it's about time the heroes left, turn to 201. Well, I'm going to give Tails the credit he deserves, and we're going to have a look at the blue needle. But very carefully, because needles are sharp, and they can have all sorts of things on them that will do you very bad harm. Not to mention what could be inside it. 174. Sonic is now a heroin addict. And... no. 174. The blue needle. Hey Fuzzy! Welcome, welcome, welcome. How are you doing? That little emote is so cute. I hope you're well. We are going through Adventure Game Book number 3 in the Sonic the Hedgehog series. I think we're about to find our first clue about Zonik, who is apparently the baddie in this book. The blue needle is glowing with a faint light on the floor of the cave. It looks very much like one of Sonic's spines. If you think the needle isn't important and should be left where it is, then hurry on to the chemical plant. 201. If Sonic picks up the needle, turn to 75. Yeah, I remembered getting one from the library when I was a kid, and then I was watching Outside Extra doing an adventure book series, and it reminded me of it. So I trawled eBay. I found a lot of other Sonic stuff as well, including this Sonic Mad Libs And once I figure out a good way of getting chat involved in it, we're going to have some little Mad Libs stories as designed by you. For example... Oh, and this is one I've flipped to before. Let's find another example. Just imagine the kind of stories that we can come up with. He can build something out of almost anything. We can see what Tails' inventions could be. Anyway, so that's a future thing. But yes, now we're going to see if we can kill this, well, defeat or soothe the majesty of this other hedgehog. Right, so I'm picking up the needle using my sharps proof gloves. And go to page 75. Always be careful around needles. Right. 75. There's a lot of things that say your adventure ends here. Luckily that's in the section beforehand. Okay. Oh. Here we go. How will Sonic pick up the needle? If he uses his hands, turn to 140. If he uses a pair of tweezers, if he has them, the zone chip might help, turn to 219. Should we zone chip? I'm tempted to use my hands because he's got spines himself, so surely he must be used to handling his own pricks, right? Like his glove, he's got gloves on, see, as proven by this illustration. Gloves, probably sharp-proof gloves. Sonic the Lesson Hog. Yeah, well, but then I feel like it's really, really leading me towards using the tweezers. Like maybe it's... Oh, it might burn. That's why Tails has all of those scorch marks on him. Okay, I think we do need the zone chip. So 219, remember 219. And we're going to use the warp chip, the zone chip, which uses 10 rings, which is exactly what I have. So only Sonic is going to go through the zone chip. What's it? 2, 3, 7, 237, sorry, 237. Okay. Carefully, Sonic takes out the zone chip and looks at it. It will cost 10 rings to use it himself, or 20 if he wishes Tails to come with him. Once you've decided whether you want Tails to go or not, you must cross that number of rings off Sonic's stuff. Okay, turn to 127 for just Sonic. 127. It's a lot of page turning, which is very difficult with one hand. 127. Come on. 1, 2, 7. Here. Right. Bring Tails, he deserves it. No, he can't come. We don't have... Can't afford it. Look, only one of us gets to go on holiday. And apparently Tails has no life of his own, so it can't just be Tails. So it's Sonic or nada. Now I need to find these books. Well, good luck. The ones I found on eBay were incredibly expensive, except this one. Excuse me. I'm going to actually have a bit of water. Very difficult doing all this talking. Yeah, here. Brew house and kitchen. That's where I spend an amount of time. Not a lot of time, but some time in Bedford of Bedfordshire. Yeah, Tails is fine. We'll go back to where he is, I'm sure. In the secret mystery cave full of needles. $45 for one book, right? I think I saw one that was like 100 and something quid. No, I don't want them that much. But yeah, I'm pretty happy I found this one. I think it was like still overpriced. Maybe 10, I don't remember how much, £10 maybe. But yeah, they are a little bit insane. But hey, you get all of the experience for none of the money. Here you go, providing all this for free. Yes. Right, duck is cute. Right. The chip starts to flash with red lights, emitting a quiet humming sound. Suddenly, Sonic feels a little dizzy. The next thing he knows, he's standing in a square room. Everything shines with a bright white light. This isn't anywhere Sonic's been before. In fact, it doesn't even look like a normal zone. There are 4 doors, one in each wall. Above each door is a different picture. Oops. Sonic must choose carefully. He will only be allowed to go through a door once. Then it will seal shut forever. Once you have decided which one he should go through, write its number down so that you don't use it again. Which door do you think Sonic should go through? The one with a pair of tweezers? That's what we want. The one with the Skynet? Skynet. The one with a pair of gloves? The one with an energy bomb? All those sound exciting. But we want the tweezers, which is 149. So, 1 second. I kind of want to write down the other things as well. So, tweezers, Skynet, gloves, energy bomb. Right. So, what the heck is a Skynet? Something energy bomb. What was the third thing? Pair of gloves. Gloves. I'm gonna go through the tweezers door. Also, I can't remember where we were before. Was it 219? Now we're going to tweezers door. Yeah, Sonic is going to Skynet. You heard it here first. Right. Pair of tweezers, 149. Here we go. Ooh. It's fine. This isn't for us. This adventure ends here. Right. 149. The door opens automatically to reveal a long corridor. It's all white and completely empty. Sonic enters it and takes a few steps. Suddenly, a trapdoor opens right under his feet. Roll the die and add the results to Sonic's agility. If the score is 6 or more, turn to 1 to 205. Ooh, there's other choices as well. Let's roll the die and see what we get. But so agility, I've got 3. Gonna roll the die on here. Here we go. Imagine it rolling, rolling, rolling. 3. Uh-oh. So if it's 6 or more, okay, phew, right. Right, we're not dying, that's good. Turn to 2.
Well, if it isn't Jolly_Cox.
Jolly_Cox. Welcome, Archaea. Thank you very much for 7 months. This is much appreciated. I hope you are enjoying the emotes. I'm gonna try and add some more emotes soon, but I have to think about what they are gonna be, because quite a few of my slots are taken up with things I don't really care about that much. So, if anyone has ideas, let me know. Jolly Cox. That's what they call me. In certain circles. Right, 205, because we have just masterfully done something. Avoided falling through a trapdoor, maybe? In this Sonic the Hedgehog Adventure Gamebook number 3. Right, 205. Sonic takes a quick sidestep and easily avoids falling into the trap. Ahead, the tunnel opens into a large room. Being careful to make sure there aren't any more hidden traps, Sonic walks in. The only things there are a large red button marked Return and a very tall pillar. On top of the pillar, Sonic can just see a pair of tweezers. What should Sonic do now? Press the red button. Turn to 187. If Sonic is alone and he wants to get the tweezers, turn to 138. Joe! You were right, we should have brought Tails. But we couldn't send Tails in by himself. That's what I'd have done. That's what Sonic always does. Send Tails in alone into danger. I think the red button's just going to take me back to where I was before. This is the darkest timeline. Oh, you have no idea. It can get darker. The stupid zit in the middle of my forehead and it hurts real bad. No! I do have a guilty pleasure for squeezing them though. But if you don't want to do that, an alternative is to have a flannel, get it into some really, really hot water, wring it out a bit if you want to, but basically as hot as you can manage it, put it onto the onto where it hurts, and then hopefully either the stuff inside will become warm enough to get reabsorbed into the bloodstream and taken away and processed, or it will make stuff rise to the surface so it could do its thing. Panic zit. So that is my 2 pence of well, they're my options for you. Squeeze it or put something hot on it. We'll keep touching it. That could be fun too. That's what she said. So I think pressing the red button is just going to take us back to where we were before. Sonic is alone and he wants to get the tweezers, so we're going to turn to page 138. I'll draw a big circle around it with a marker. That'll fix it, yeah. Or, yeah, draw a little face on it. Then it's like a second happy friend that comes with you wherever you go. We can put whiskers on it, little ears. So 138, that's where we're going. 138. One, 3, 8. Here we go. I will mention it if it's big enough. Yeah, especially if you draw a really angry face on it. Then they'll be like, what's that? Oh, he looks pissed off. Let's not ask. Okay. 138. The pillar is very tall. If only Sonic had brought Tails. It would have been very easy. He only had 10 fucking rings. Anyway. Well, now there's only one thing for it. Do we just have this? Never mind. It's on random. There's only so random it can be. Sonic is going to have to try and jump to the top. This will mean pushing himself to the limit. Roll the die and add the result to Sonic's speed. Then roll the die again and add the result to Sonic's strength. If both scores are 6 or more, then Sonic manages to reach the tweezers. Right, if either score is less than 6, the jump is a little too much for him and he has failed. Okay. So, speed and strength. So the first one has to be speed. Right, ready? So this is for speed. 5 add 2. 7. Good. So our speed is fine. Then strength. Okay. Here we go. As long as it's not a 1. 2. Woohoo! Okay. Pillar is very tall. This is your choose. Yeah. Choose your own fan fiction, basically. Sorry, I've still got a bit of a cough. Your pillar is so tall, I'll need a lot of strength and a lot of speed to conquer it. Include it in your introduction. Hey, I'm Pizza and this is my zit. Have that little zoom function so it's saying, hi, I'm Pizza and this is my zit. That, you know what I mean, like. Okay. I keep moving this off my shoulder and then it's impossible to get it back in the right place. Tweezers are such a huge part of the game. I'm glad they included them. Yeah, I know. I, for one, am glad that it was this difficult to get tweezers. But I guess there's no real shops in Mobius, or whatever the world is called. Can't just pop to WH Smith's and buy a pair of tweezers. If I stream, I'll just have it zoomed in on my zit. Yeah, that's good. And when the zit's gone, you can just draw it back on in red pen, or you can have just a zit like stuck in place on your screen that you then can place your head onto in the right place. That'd be good. We'll get a little plushie of a zit and then just have it next to you for times when you don't have a zit. I feel like I was going to say something, but I've forgotten. So here we go. The only thing left for Sonic to do is press the red return button. Turn to 187. Wait. 187. I'm guessing this is just going to be a sequence about Sonic presses the button. And here's a whooshing noise or something. 187. What? Oh, okay. Right. I was very concerned when I saw your adventure ends here. Suddenly, there is a funny kind of wobbly feeling, and Sonic, and Tails if he's there, find themselves back where the zone chip was first used. You should have written this down. If you haven't, let's hope you've got a good memory. If you haven't got a good memory, then your adventure ends here. Luckily, I have a great memory. 219. 219. How are we doing for time? Yeah. 10 to 15 minutes. Pizza. Pizza. Would that be peace? Ooh, pus a pizza. There you go. Fixed it. 219, okay. Excuse me. Sonic reaches down and picks up the needle with his tweezers. It is indeed exactly like one of his own spines in all save two respects. Firstly, it is glowing, and secondly, it smells distinctly eggy. Being careful not to touch it, Sonic places the spine in his bag. Remember to add it to Sonic's stuff. Then it's time to go to the chemical plant. 1201. Let's add these things actually. So, we've got tweezers now. Tweezers and blue needle. That was all we found, right? Yeah. Oops. That's a draw on myself by accident. Right. So 201. Where we're off to chemical plant zone. 201. Come on, hands. Do it. 201. Okay. How does my shoulder work? Ah, there. No? Yes. That looks okay. Alright. It is not far to the gate connecting the green hills with the chemical plant. What a beautiful set of places to be joined by a gate. Strange that something as nasty as the chemical plant could be so close to the green hills. Damn you, book. Up ahead, Sonic could see the start of the deep valley that led to the gate. He also knew that just around the corner would be the Spike Buggy, one of Robotnik's creations. Slow and clumsy, but still dangerous. It would have to be beaten before they could get to the gate. Will Sonic and Tails attack the Spike Buggy head on? Turn to 23. Or will they try to sneak past it? Turn to 222. Well, my agility would probably help. I've got 3 of those. I've got 5 strength, so I'm gonna bank on my strength here. I'm gonna attack it. Turn to page 23. 23. There. Oh, right. Sonic and Tails have beaten the Spike Buggy so many times before that this should be a walkover. Around the corner in the valley, the familiar shape of Robotnik's creation comes into view. When Sonic first came across it, Robotnik himself used to drive the contraption, but when he kept losing, he automated the buggy to drive itself. The buggy isn't moving. It can't have seen either one of our heroes yet. They creep closer and closer, and still the buggy remains absolutely motionless. What's up with it? Oh wait. What's up with it? It's never done this before, says Tails in a whisper. Patience never being his strong point, Sonic determines to investigate. Well, let's find out, shall we? Charge! So sorry. With that, Sonic hurls himself towards the buggy. With one graceful jump, he somersaults through the air and lands with a crunch on the buggy's roof. Crash! He disappears in a cloud of dust. Tails looks on horrified as the whole buggy collapses into a heap of scrap metal. After a few seconds, Sonic emerges from the debris, covered in smuts and oil. I've never managed that before, he says. I think, says Tails, that something or someone else beat us to it. You mean the other Sonic? Says Sonic. Just before we move on. Could just about make out what that's meant to be. But look. Tails looks a bit derpy. And Sonic looks tough, rambunctious. Yep. No more buggy. You mean the other Sonic? Says Sonic. Apparently unable to turn the page. Apparently disappointed that it wasn't him who had demolished the buggy. Looks that way. Well, if it was him, then he saved me, I mean us, the trouble then. Sonic looks awkward. Assumes it's a he. I suppose he has, smiles Tails, and together they walk towards the gate that would take them from the Green Hills to a place altogether less agreeable. Turn to 250. Now, chemical plant zone may be a good place for us to finish for today, because I'm hungry. So page 250. Let's see if there's a nice picture. 250. See, Zonik just looks so like... Zonik with a Z. Just looks so like innocent and sweet. Doesn't look evil at all. He's all, you know, coy and just looks surprised to see anybody. Poor thing. So let's get to 250. 250. Okay. Well, I think that will be all for today. But we've made it to Chemical Plant Zone, so that's exciting. I believe I saw mention of a casino earlier, so I think we all know, like music, where we're eventually heading to. I might have another cold actually, because I'm coughing a lot more than usual. Might just be the cold though. It's getting towards autumn in the UK, and I like it. Right, so page 250 for next time. Let's write it here. TPZ. Not the controlled parking zone, but the chemical plant zone. There we go. Alright, well, thank you for coming with me to choose our own adventure. Well, my pleasure. I hope my guidance was suitable, sufficient, and enjoyable. I want to stream more often. I say this every single time I stream, but I'm thinking if I can do like a 2-hour stream like this, I'll be able to stream a lot more often, because normally I think, oh, I'm going to have to set aside half a day for this or whatever. Actually, it doesn't really need to be hugely long. Cressy! I'm sorry. Well, I can show you the book. I'll show you, we've still got all 3 of our lives, and this is all our stats. We've succeeded in everything we've tried to do so far, so that's good. Let's show you a picture. Here's Robotnik. And Sonic not boning tails. Foxy style. Yeah, it's pretty cool so far. This is the first picture we opened up on. Sonic slut dropping and looking a bit confused. Hey Ape, I am Silly. How are you doing? Also, hey Cressy, hope you're well. I get called Silly all the time. It's fine. It's fine. I got auto-corrected. Yeah, that's what they all say. But yeah, so here we go. This is a 1994 bit of mastery from Nigel Gross and John Sutherland in all its glory. And these are expensive on eBay. This, I was lucky. I managed to find at a decent price. Some of them are crazy expensive. I did also get these adventure game books, because I found them by accident when I was looking, but then I thought they look kind of interesting as well. But they're not. They're... well, I don't know. They're probably just not good for a streaming scenario. But some of them are okay. Oh look, that brings back memories. Ah. Oil Ocean Zone. Good times. Right. So yes, so yeah, if I'm thinking of doing like a few 2-hour sort of streams. Balls of nostalgia. Is that what you call them? Are they blue? Etc. etc. But yeah, I just I get so nostalgic for Sonic. In fact, I got a cable so that I could see if my Mega Drive would hook up to the TV. I'm going to look at that after this stream. Because I got it ages ago and then I just haven't bothered seeing. I wanted to see if it would hook up to my capture card thingy. You had some of the Sonic comics. Ah, you had this book when you were a kid? Ah, well, no spoilers. I used to watch the cartoon, and I think even then it was quite bad. But you know when you've got a nostalgic memory of something like the Turtles, I was always like, oh, the Turtles is fantastic. You go back and watch it and you're like, yeah, this is not as great as I remember it being. I think even my memory of Sonic, I was like, oh no, I don't want to watch that again. I don't think I've seen any of the comics. But yeah, it's probably going to lead me to a whole like eBay spree of buying crap Sonic memorabilia. You made your dad a trace drawing of Sonic so you could colour it green. Aww. Why green? You had the cartoons on VHS. Ooh. I don't know where we used to watch it, but I feel like it must have been on VHS or something, because where else would we have been able to watch them all back to back? What was your favourite colour? Oh, now your username colour suddenly makes sense. They released the comics in a big collection a while back. Ooh. Oh, so you've got a fresh copy of them all? Well, that's good. I want to pop this out. Yes. That's easier. All these things I keep learning about streaming. Yeah. The only comics I really read were the Beano, sometimes the Dandy. That was it really. That's all you need. Still kind of expensive the last time you saw it. Hopefully it'll come down in price and you can reclaim those precious memories. Right, I am going to head off because I am hungry, as I previously mentioned.